So I hope you enjoyed the clickbait title. But the truth is, I did get banned by my broker, or at least a broker that I was using. So just to give you the details, it's more of a warning about the broker you use than the trading strategy. So 2007 or 8 this was, and a whole lot of brokers had popped up. City Index, IG, all sorts of weird and wonderful ones, and some were UK based, some were out of the EU, some were out of Cyprus, Malta, Gibraltar. And I had a strategy where they were coming up with it was obvious the brokers weren't direct to market, so that your orders weren't just going through to an exchange. They were putting them on their books, and then in the background, this is an assumption, that they try and hedge you. So if you bought euros, they back to back on the exchange. But I get the feeling most of them were just hoping you'd lose, and because you'd lose, they'd win. So anyway, I placed a few trades. Well, I had a strategy that I was implementing on one broker, and I knew, because it was a binary option strategy. I don't know how much of this road noise you can hear behind me, but anyway, most brokers were a few points out on their pricing model. So I had basically my own black skulls, and I found that most brokers weren't quick enough to extract the volatility after news items. So at 1:30 and 3 o'clock, when the US news comes out, they weren't quick enough to snap in the volatility that was still priced into the option. So I was waiting for the news to come out and then quickly selling the option. Anyway, so it was working, this strategy was working, and the broker obviously offers both sides, you can buy or sell, and I was slowly making money. Anyway, I opened up anyone that was offering these binary options, I was opening an account with, because I wanted to sort of spread my trade risk. And anyway, one I opened, I must have placed 8 trades over the course of 10 days or so. I wasn't going heavy on it. Normally I started small and built up my position size with the broker, because just to get a feel for them as a broker, their execution price, and then I'd try the first withdrawal, because back then it was a bit of Wild West. If you were buying stock, you normally had to do it through either through Barclays or through like TD Waterhouse, and they were very much more £15 or $15 to do a trade. They weren't meant for active trading, where these other brokers were coming up, like IG, where they just widened the spread, because you're spread betting or CFD or trading CFDs. So they made their money by messing about with the spread. So they weren't the spot market, they were a derivative of it. Anyway, I placed these 8 trades. I think they all made money. Not big money, just really, literally under 100 euros, under 100 pounds, under $100. And I went to withdraw it, and nothing happened. You put in like a withdrawal request. This is back in the day before just like instant withdrawals. And I think I'm trying to remember now, either wrote to them or they wrote to me saying, and their reply was, "You're a professional, you can have your money back, but we're not paying out your profit." I was gobsmacked. I think I called them, and I was like, are you seriously telling me I've made 8 small trades, made literally pennies, and you're telling me that that's classed as a professional and you're not going to pay me out? And they're like, "Yup." And I was astounded. It wasn't like I'd done them for 50 grand or 100 grand or £1 million, or like, it was literally pennies. And so this broking house was obviously, I can't even comprehend what kind of setup it was if you couldn't win like 40 euros off them. It likens to, I guess it's like the casinos. If you go in and you start winning regularly, you're just simply banned. They try and figure out how you're winning, and then you're just banned. There's many online stories where guys get taken to a room and they're told, "Don't come back here." Many stories. So, and even though the casinos make money from everyone else, they won't take that one person that's winning. So anyway, this broker, I can't even remember the name now, I obviously, I think they paid out what I was due. But again, this is the interesting thing. I think they made me deposit in pounds, they made me trade in euros, and they made the payout in pounds. And what was laughable, again by them, was that the euro exchange rate they were using was so far away from the spot price. Even as a broker, they even had the cheek to like put in a big spread on their euro exchange rate. That yeah, I barely got, I don't know, 60% of what I put in. And they were like, and again, I questioned it. I was like, are you really giving me that exchange rate? And they were like, yeah. Anyway, it was a really valuable lesson. Not to use. I'm pretty sure they were out of either Cyprus or Malta. Basically, do not touch a unregulated, I'd almost say, if it's not publicly listed, do not trade with them. There'll be a joke outfit. So it's like these prop shops. They're all joke outfits. All they're trying to do is make money from you. They're not trying to help you as a trader. And back then, these like spread betting shops that opened up, these CFD brokers, they're all on the scam. They're not. You want your trade to go in and go to market. You don't want them to have the ability to widen the spread on you, or to change the market on you, or to do any funny business. So make sure you go with a publicly listed broker. So, you know, one of the big boys, Interactive Brokers, Schwab, TOS, Tasty, TradeStation. Like there is no point getting with a prop shop or a CFD or a spread betting company for whatever benefits you think they may have, because when you're on big money, they will be doing everything in their power to either not pay you or to close your account. And that was my lesson back then. This was peanut money. As I said, it was like I did a few literally test trades, and there was a problem. So, and just to talk about the strategy I was using, it was, yeah, they were just mispricing their options a little bit. So at some point, if they knew what they were doing, I would have a big loss, and it would even up to a very small gain over many, many trades. But and how they could say that I was professional after, I think it was like 8 winning trades, no losses. It was astounding, and they were just a massive scam outfit. So it's always worth looking at the company, the actual company, that they have like a company registration number, and that company registration number is formally like online, and like it's legit. It's not out of Cyprus, Malta, Gibraltar, Jersey, Guernsey, anywhere where you know you just have no recourse. You want a US, yeah, I mean, I'd stick with a US regulated broker, whatever you think the advantage is to going elsewhere. And yeah, anyway, it was astounding. I hope that's useful, I hope that's interesting. I do not think I was so good that the broker banned me. I do not think that the strategy was it was just it was basically my pricing model against theirs, and they were just basically a scam outfit. That's it.